So we're here at Tampa Bay Ducati. Looks easier just to go right here. We're just gonna go right here at the light. So I am on the new V4. Yeah, we're just gonna go right here and go back down. There we go. So this is the new Panigale V4. Now, asked me, do I want to ride the S? I said no. You know, I was thankful to get on this thing and see what it's about. I will say, I actually am very impressed right now just by sitting on it. The sitting on it is very aggressive. It reminds me of the Fireblade. It really does. It reminds me of the Fireblade. Oh, it reminds me of my old V4. Oh, I'm missing my old V4. Wow, it's really nimble. So this bike, man, it feels like the... Can I turn here? Yeah, I can. This bike feels like a, what's it called? My 1299. Like I said, we're not doing a long test drive on this thing, but just seeing how it feels. It definitely feels like the 1299. Now it's interesting, the mirrors shake really good on this thing, like really good. Up top feels very comfortable. I like it. Definitely a lot more comfortable. Let's see now. Let's give it a little gas here. Definitely this bike will take some getting used to, but okay, so you felt her come alive there a little bit. That actually felt really good. You felt her come alive there. I'm actually just going to let it coast. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to show you guys that real quick while I'm here at Tampa Ducati. We'll talk later about this thing because I gotta wrap up and then we're going to a bike meet. So, alright, y'all. Peace, love, ride safe. I'll probably make this into a tube video, so we'll talk later. What's going on, everyone? Okay, so if you're joining in right now, then you know that this is a two-part video. So I just got done riding the new Ducati at Tampa Bay V4, and what can I say? That was a dream come true. Question is though, do I really need to buy a V4? Do I really need to buy a V4 when I'm having so much fun on a Gixxer? Well, I would say if it's the right spec, I would buy one. If it's the right spec Ducati, I'll buy one. Now, granted, I'm not going to drop any more information than that, but what I can say is that riding it was actually a really nice time. It was very smooth. It was very nimble. I've sat on the bike before, but you know, I didn't ride it. I didn't imagine what it would be like riding. But I have to say, if you are a fan of your 1299, if you're a fan of your 1199, if you're a fan of those bikes, then you will be a fan of the new V4. That's pretty much all I got to say, really. Everything felt like everything was the same to the 1299. I feel like literally maybe Ducati realized that it had such a great platform with the 1299 that they went back in time and said, okay, we're gonna bring the design back of the old 1299. I don't know, but either way, it was a beautiful, beautiful experience. Now, granted, when you get the bike, of course, you gotta tune the bike. You know, you gotta hit a tune on it. But you know what? That gives you another 220 horsepower, 220 219 horsepower on stock internals. Man, it smells like gas here. Not my bike. Maybe this car had. But anyway, yeah, so really awesome time. I enjoyed myself. Hold on. We're gonna get around this car because it smells like gas. Really smells like gas. Okay, now I can breathe. Okay, so back to the story. So, yeah, it was very nimble. So the seating position on it is just like the 1299. Hopefully the audio is coming in clear. I have to say, I really enjoyed it. The views of it are very beautiful, you know, and they had a Tricolore there, which you'll see in my Instagram post. The Trico looked really awesome, phenomenal, so much more aggressive than the 1299 FE. Oh man, I don't know what I'm riding through. Maybe it's spring, and I haven't had allergies in like years, I feel like. Alright, we still got 1.5 miles to go. Yeah, right now we're going to Crackit, I think it is. If you know the bike scene down here, there's 2 spots to go to that are major bike scenes. Well, actually there's more than that, but this is one of the main ones. So we're riding up there. So anyway, back to the new V4. Now I'll have to make a separate video comparing what it felt like riding that compared to all the other bikes I have right now. You know, if I were to get that bike or a V4, what would I get rid of? Because I mean, I technically wouldn't have to, but it would make things a little nicer. I mean, but the thing is though is that, you know, I will say this, riding the new Panigale V4. Now remember, I could have rode the V4S, but I didn't want to. Some details on that, but I didn't want to do that because what I really they want to get around traffic. See, that's the thing. You always want to. Now look at this person. They are texting and driving, and cops have nerve to pull me over. Well, why don't you pull over this person here who's texting and driving? Whoa! What in the world are you doing? What in the world are you doing, people? You're such an a-hole. Now, granted, people like that. Alright, yeah, we still got time to go. It's better just to pull over. Now I'm in traffic, but you know, that could have been a very dangerous situation where I have to get out of the way. You know, he's saying go, but you have traffic coming behind you. He's looking at his rearview mirror, and you know, the best thing is just to make sure that I stay in his. I think, yeah, I turned here. The best thing is to do is to make sure I stay in his visual. Also, but stay in oncoming traffic visual. And you see, the thing is that he's telling me to go around. I have people coming up on my butt. I can't, you know, you're coming into my lane there. People, you gotta remember, you are on a bike, you're not in a car, so if that person comes in on you, they are hitting the bike and you're not hitting a car. So the thing is, like, you know, granted, in that situation, you need to literally pull over. He's telling you to go. No, I'm not going to listen to you. Listen to your own instinct. Pull over. Get out of the way because you got cars coming up flying behind you, and it's best just to pull right over immediately. And you saw the person literally didn't even yield to them trying to hop over. They just literally kept going. So literally, had I stopped right there, they would have probably hit me. So yeah, it's always best. And that's the thing though, you avoid them coming in on you as well. Because that can be a very dangerous situation, really. And I have heard some people have gone down. Unfortunately, somebody passed away. You know, RIP, and prayers to them and their family. But yeah, you just always got to be careful, man. But anyway, back to the story. Yeah, that was exciting. V4. yeah, so anyway, I was going with, though, so it's like, the seating position, I loved it, because it was like the Fireblade. Granted, I don't know what it was that was, now, I don't know why that person would go there. Oh, here you go. Oh, here's another one. I mean, yeah, it's courteous that people stop for bikes, but you gotta, nice Civic. But you know, the thing is, though, you want to make sure you're safe and protected. But anyway, back to the story. I keep on getting distracted with all this stuff. So yeah, you're sitting on it was like sitting on my Fireblade. You're up high. It was beautiful. You're right on top of the tank instead of sunken in like this tank. And you know, the one thing I'll say I was very surprised about is, racing wise, I feel like that bike is a beast. And why do I say that? Because I feel like, honestly, if I'm on a track on that bike, it is so beautiful. You know, you are able to corner. Also too, down low between, like, near your heel, it really felt like the bike was really tiny down there. Like, I was like, wait a minute, this isn't the bike I remember riding. Like, they changed it. Granted, so what were some dislikes about it? Well, I gotta say, number one, price point. Prices aren't for everyone, but I wasn't a fan of the price point, the high price point, but I am a fan of exclusivity, whatever, what do you want to say, exclusivity, whatever it is. But, you know, the one thing that I will say is that, overall, is it worth me getting? I don't know, but we gotta find out. Welcome to Tampa Bike Night. Yep. Perfect. Whew! Welcome. Bike night. I think I know that Dixie. Hey y'all, so this is great. If you ever been, it's a really nice chill place. We'll get some video of us leaving, and yeah.